And welcome back to Kite Sports. Getting back to you early this Saturday morning. Had a long day yesterday. I could not get this out in time. Just a few programming changes going on for the week to come. I'm going to take Around the Herd, my 7 p.m. show. I'm going to go back to once a week because life is just too fluid. I like to do more drops on more current topics. And sometimes when I get to Thursday, by the time I put that show together, it's so many things I want to hit. That's happened to me 3 weeks in a row. And I'm just going to go back to doing one show Tuesday at 7 p.m. And that's going to be it. But I will be able to be more fluid, more up to date, more current. I like it. And I hope that you love it too. Let's get to these things for this week. First game up, Vanderbilt versus number 10 LSU. It just doesn't even sound right. Now, Vanderbilt is actually favored in this game. Last time I checked, experts think that LSU wins this game in a mild upset, though. LSU, they can win because, I don't know. They said they can win because Vandy has an offense that's flashy, but it's not very consistent. I tend to disagree with that. I think it's going to come down to toughness of LSU, and I don't think LSU is very tough. Very reflective of their coach, he yells and screams like a baby, but I don't think he's very tough at all. I mean, Brian Kelly reminds me pretty much of my toddlers, because when things start to go wrong, like they drop their binky or the milk bottle's empty, they just start going after it. Nussmeier's been inconsistent all year. LSU's running game is like something that's the physicality part. If you got a run game, I need to see the carries, even if I don't see the yards. You got to trust the run's going to work for you. And I don't think they really trust it right now. When you look at Vandy, you know what they got. We faced them. I just think that if you're looking at LSU, I just don't think they're going to be able to pull this one off. I guess they have the advantage of being at home, but I don't think Vandy cares about that kind of stuff. They on something else. They on a mission. They proved that to me. So I, therefore, am going to take Diego Pavia and his traveling band of rogue geniuses. And I'm going to take LSU in this game. Oklahoma, South Carolina. Now, Oklahoma is favored in this game. They're going over to South Carolina. South Carolina offense is they're confused. I feel for them. I know they lost. It's confusing. I don't know if it's like they sit back and like, Lenore's, what we gonna do now? It's like they're not really engaged, and that could get them against a defense like Oklahoma. They come out raring and tearing. You know what I'm saying? They're too tough for you to be confused. You got to know exactly what you want to do. Mateer is trying to come back. I don't know how good this is that man. I don't know which screw combination they showed on TV, all the schematics and the mechanics. I don't know which one he's dealing with, but I'm telling you right now, that has to hurt, because something showed a screw going right through his finger or his thumb fault, and one showed possibly three screws going in there, and there was another. You can do what you want to at surgery. When you wake up and start picking up cups and stuff, life changes. I don't know how he's able to do that. The Gamecocks do have a little defense, more than I thought, but nothing like last year. I just think, Shane Beamer, I don't know if he has his eye set on going back home to Virginia Tech. I think I don't know if they hired a coach or not. I don't know if he's just shutting it all down there, but it's going to really depend on what happens in this game. And he knows Lenore Sellers is out of there pretty soon. So I just think Oklahoma's going to pull this one off. They should be able to cover that, 5.5? They should be able to cover that. And going back to the Vandy game for a second, I just think Vandy wins that game. I think they can get the 2.5. 2.5 point favorite in that game on the road at LSU. That's unthinkable. Vanderbilt is a favorite at LSU. Wow. Texas A&M versus Arkansas. Arkansas has no reason to think that they're going to win this game. while they are at home, and everybody's waiting for Elko to mess up. Get a little sip. I got something in my throat. I can see how Arkansas could pull this off because they got the Weasel working with them. And when you're talking about the Weasel, anything is we're talking about Bobby Petrino. Bobby Petrino, leave you in the middle of the night. Bobby Petrino, take your daughter down the street, wreck her on a motorcycle. Bobby Petrino. That's who I'm talking about. He is the Weasel. And because he is a Weasel, he will pull out all stops, everything he got to do to win this game. Texas A&M, they riding on a high right now. Like I said, number 4 in the country. But what a statement it would make for the Weasel to say, make me your coach. Make me your coach. I just beat the number 4. He is fighting for his life. He may say, I'm just working over here as offense coordinator till I can get back and get my own team one day and get my credibility back. But you know what? Older you get, more expensive moves are. He probably don't want to go. He's comfortable in Arkansas. Probably know where the dive spots at. You know, he know how far $50 go late at night over there in Arkansas. All that kind. He's very comfortable. That Fayetteville, Arkansas, a very disgusting place. Anyway, Arkansas is they should be fully recovered from losing their coach. If they can get their quarterback, it was a Green, to go in like full video mode and just go straight, you know, just the decathlon joystick. But you know, I just think Bobby Petrino could call out like a revenge masterpiece and, you know, just mesmerize the doggone Aggies when they least expect it. They won't be prepared for Petrino too much because they don't know what he's going to do. Got to remember, Petrino, he can call a game. He can call a game. Sam Pittman may not be able to give you no blocking or give you defense, but Petrino can call a game. They're at home. Team ought to be over the loss of their probably a good player coach in Pittman. I think I'm going to take Arkansas at least to cover. I'm not going to take them to win, but I think Arkansas covers this game. So I would take the 7.5 points. And I think Arkansas is going to play one of the better games that they've played. But I think Texas A&M got too much for them. But if they pull it off, I would not be surprised. Ole Miss versus Georgia. Now that's going to be something else. Georgia is definitely looking to, you know, they got out of Auburn. I just want to say, man, the SEC officiating, I don't know how I could put this. I wouldn't call them cheaters. Just think the referees, they are people who are acting dishonestly in order to help people gain. That's actually the definition of cheater. I don't know what's going on, man. Conspiracy theories. Why do we have conspiracy theories in SEC football? Well, Bear Bryant did coach there a long time. But anyway, conspiracy theories, they think that the commissioner is trying to protect top about 5 teams to make sure that they all get seeded. I haven't looked at the standings to see how that works out. So many people have to play each other, but you know, these schedules are really funky. They're really fishy too. Because now that the test will be, if you watch a Texas game and you see Texas come out on the bad end of the stick on several calls over and over, because like Texas could be out of the loop, I guess, on, you know, being in the top 5 or something. I don't know. But what I saw against Auburn, when it comes to the Georgia and Oklahoma game, because that Oklahoma game, when that guy rolled across the top of him, picked up the football up and ran a touchdown, and they said, "No, bruh, that ain't no touchdown." Yes, it was. Back to Ole Miss and Georgia. This is going to be and it's going to explode in the fact that I think Georgia may run Ole Miss up out of them. I think I expect Georgia to run them up out of the hedges, because Ole Miss gets to this point in their games where they hit these stalls. Great quarterback. His legs are going to be probably the difference, but I don't think Georgia's going to let him just run on them. And I just don't. And I don't think Ole Miss is ready to go on the road and face one of these tough opponent. I mean, that's more. I put Georgia's defense on the, top 5, top 10 in the country. I'll say top 10 in the country. They mean, they meaner than a drunken uncle at Thanksgiving. Stockton is steady and boring. You know what I'm saying? I mean, keep the ball under control. Hopefully Kirby will win this game and not jump up on the table and all that stuff, all that hoopla he did. So I'm going to applaud them. I'm going to applaud this game. This is going to be a beautiful game to watch. And, we're going to, I can't take it. It is so much foolishness going on. Time out. Looking the referee in his eye, just like a man proposing to his girlfriend. Just looking him in the eye. Man, how much do y'all think that costs? Drop that in the comments down. How much do you think it costs to get that pulled off? And Lane Kiffin's road record ain't that great either, especially against the top teams. Great quarterback, like I said. He could go in there and go nuclear, but it's going to be tough. This ain't the team that's just waiting for you to make decisions for their defense. Their defense like to help, make decisions for them. I think it's going to be fine. I think that the Georgia's probably going to get a couple of turnovers that Lane wasn't expecting. And I think that Georgia should be able to win this game. And I think they covered the 7.5. That's probably going to fall closer to probably 6.5. But I think I can see them being explosive and creating enough turnovers to win that game. Next game up, I got Mississippi State and Florida. Now I do have a bet with Nick over there at Water Cooler Talk. And he said that Mississippi State was going to go to a bowl game, meaning they have to win 6 games. They've won 4. They look terrible against all the other opponents. Because everybody else they have on their schedule is like SEC teams. So they have to find 2 teams that they will beat. So that brings up Florida. They're going to go to the Swamp. Florida is favored by 10. Florida and Kentucky, the only 2 teams I thought they could possibly beat, and I still don't believe they will beat both of them. So I got Florida definitely winning this game. I do not think they will cover the 10 points. I think Lagway has a great game unless he have a great game, unless he gets injured, is what I meant to say. Mississippi State, I don't think they're going to have enough for the speed and the crowd. The way that Ben Hill Griffin Stadium is made, it makes you feel funny. I understand when you're standing in the middle of the field. And then, Florida's hungry for a win too. The guy is battling for his job over there, and if he doesn't win, no telling what happens. There's no telling what happens after the game. I mean, because let's say Mississippi State goes and rolls in, then suddenly may have that reaper come through there. So old boy gotta win this game, to be honest. That Napier. But I think it's gonna be a tough game. I still think Florida maybe wins by 4 or 5 or 6. Don't think they get to 10, but I don't see Mississippi State being at the level of execution going over there and winning that game. And I see Florida is playing well. Something outside of the conference I'm going to be taking interest to is the Maryland versus UCLA game. This is an interesting game. As you know, the young Newhouse is taking over that game over UCLA. UCLA is favored by 3.5. Everybody's on board with Nico. Maryland is traveling across. Do I have a train sound in this thing? Maryland is got. You got to take a jet from Maryland all the way over to California. I don't know when they're leaving. I don't know how that goes, but they're going over there. Mike Loxley, his team. Mike Loxley of the Capstone Coaching Clinic alumni fame. She's worked with Nick Saban and everything. 3 points. Penn State's different. I think this team in Maryland, although they're not ranked, that cross country thing. So when it's I don't know what time the game starts. But when it's 1 o'clock, in Maryland is what, 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock in California. So whenever they play the game, if they play like a night game, I think it's in the middle of the day. So it's 3. That shouldn't be a problem, but it always is. That's a lot of travel, man. I'm still going with Mike Locksley. I'm going with the man who has spent some time with the GOAT and knows how to win these tough games. We're going to see. It should be, I think it's really going to be a barn burner. They should score a lot of points in that. And that's going to be I think it's going to be a good firefight. But I'm thinking, I'm going with Locksley. I think he has enough defense to force a couple turnovers and slow down the UCLA offense, which is new. One thing about Locksley, he's seen some of the better offenses, so a good offensive coordinator should be able to tell you how to stop another offensive coordinator, help the defense out. And so he's calling the shot. So he definitely can put the defense in place to exploit all the weaknesses on that offense and pick their defense apart, because UCLA still has a horrible, horrible defense. Penn State and Iowa. This game is set up for Iowa to just, they're favored by 3.5. I mean, say what you want about James Franklin. He's a great recruiter. Because he's a great recruiter, them kids was close to him. I don't know who, if the coordinators have only been there for a year. So to say those coordinators have built the bond that they have with Coach Franklin, I think you'd be sadly mistaken. I don't even know why they haven't named one of those coordinators as their coach. That's what you have to do in the NIL era. They're talking about Matt Rule. They're talking about talking to Coach Freeman. I think that is a huge mistake. You just brought these coordinators into Penn State, brand new. Promote one of them and keep on going for the next couple of years. Probably the most, could be it's a touchy thing, but you lost your quarterback. I think it's set up. You know, I will always play stingy defense. I don't care what you're doing. They don't want you to do a whole lot of it. You could be throwing it, not today. You could be running it, not today. You're going to have balance, you're going to be off balance. They do a great job at that. This game is in Iowa. I'm definitely taking Iowa to at least cover this. If Drew LR, I don't know if he's going for the season or if he's just a little dinged up, but I don't care what the stats say. I am going with definitely going with Iowa. This game is set up for them to really, really finish off Penn State season. And, you know, Coach Franklin, salute to you. Salute to you wherever you are. Yeah, I don't know how you're going to get over this just a shocking state of affairs, them dismissing you in the middle of the season. But all I got to say, you know, going forward, as we watch these games today, drop in the track who you think is next. Because there's some people that got to go. They got to go. It's that time. See, I know I had thought the rule was when you fire your coach, the portal automatically opens up, but they changed the rule now to where they can't leave after the season. But still, you still need time. You can't start renegotiating these deals, telling people, oh, you can go, but who needs to stay? You cannot do that like right at the end of the season. You need to start doing it right now. So you got a captive audience for about, 6 weeks? Week 8. Yeah, about 6 weeks or so before you can get to that point. Because I'm telling you, them guys are already talking to whoever they're talking to. You need to be talking to them as well. Easier to have that conversation and know who the coach is. That's why it's really crazy. Penn State talking about going out to talk to Matt Rule. He's coaching. He's coaching right now. Signetti, he just got a pay raise from Indiana. I think Penn State won't call him, but then when is he going to leave Indiana? You know what I'm saying? Signetti, trust me, stay where you are. Stay where you are for the rest of your life. Stay where you are for the rest of your life. Thank me later. Signed, the late Bobby Bowden. I'm telling you, stay where you are the rest of your life. You got it going. It can't do them to go up unless you did something elicit to get players. I don't think you did. All you're going to get is better players. Imagine Indiana starts sucking in players from better players from Pennsylvania, Ohio, Michigan, maybe even Iowa. Some linemen, you know. Yeah, have you met Caden Proctor? You know what I'm saying? Just imagine. And then you can coach. Where you going? Start over? At 50 something? No, thank you. No, thank you. Moving on. USC versus Notre Dame. Oh, that's a classic. That is a classic. I haven't watched one USC game this year. They're in the Big Ten. Notre Dame still chicken. You get too chicken to get into a conference. That's understand. Notre Dame is favored this game by 9.5. And with all that I have in my soul, I hope they will lose this game. I just hope they lose this game. You know, it's great to have a 12-team playoffs. We'd love to see 16 teams. Hey, I'm a guy. I can see 24 teams. That's the kind of person I am. But for Notre Dame to weasel their way into this, for Notre Dame to be on what is this? I can't call it welfare. It's like for them to have is this not the equivalent? I don't want to get into the whole political discussion, but it's not the equivalent of college football DEI for these guys to sit out here because they're whoever they are, whatever you call them, they just get in. Their standards are different. Memphis, Tulane, old USF team, old UCF team. What's another team that made really ugly head every once in a while? Back TCU, sort of. Baylor, they're 10-2. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Who was that gave themselves a national championship? Was it Cincinnati? Somebody like Cincinnati. Somebody gave themselves like somebody gave them. That wasn't Cincinnati. But, you know, really, everybody always looking suspect. When Cincinnati went to the 4-game playoff, I was like, you don't deserve no playoffs. But obviously, 10-2, Irish, I don't care how you do the math, never disqualified. And it's absolute bull crap. So anyway, I don't think Lincoln Riley has put any defense together, which means they probably still soft. They still soft. USC probably can throw it around the yard and make it very interesting, but Notre Dame is a tough team. They play a hard brand of football. I would love for Marcus Freeman to go anywhere outside of Notre Dame, but Notre Dame got deep pockets, which is why we're dealing with this DEI situation. Their pockets are very deep. Notre Dame is favored by, what did I tell you? They are favored by 9.5. I don't think they cover that, but I think they do win. So I would take the points at USC. But take Notre Dame to win, even though they just disgust me. Oh yeah, and this game is This is in South Bend, Indiana. Ain't no way. No, ain't no way. Like, they got to do something with their defense. They have to do something with defense. Everybody on the other side of they got to do something with their defense. Oh, the stink bowl. FSU is where's my Jets? FSU is getting on a plane and they're going to be flying over to Stanford, California. Shouldn't bother them as much. Stanford really doesn't care. The Seminoles are angry after losing to yet another team that they thought they were better than. Stanford will probably help them rebound. Stanford's their defense is at the bottom of the ACC, and if it was a way to put their defense under the ACC, just under like 16, where they will put them there. If they could put them in this 22nd position defense, they will probably need to do that after the game. Stanford's whole program is trash right now, And it's crazy. Quarterback, I can't think of his name. Very hard to look at guy. Was it Leaf? Not Ryan Leaf. Jesus, somebody get that man a job at a university. But they got a bunch of money to spend, but they don't have nobody to drive the ship. So that's unfortunate. Stanford could win if their quarterback can muster up throwing for 500 yards. And FSU's secondary just maybe, I don't know, go stand in line for hot dogs for the second half. Maybe if FSU's coaches forgot how to manage a lead, they could win. But Stanford, it's impossible for them to win this game. So congratulations. I think at 17.5, Florida State wins, Florida State covers. And Stanford don't care. As soon as they get jobs after they leave Stanford, they're going to fire everybody they meet from the state of Florida. Mm-hmm. They're going to run all the tech firms. They're going to run, they're going to run a lot of banks. They're going to be in a lot of courtrooms. They're going to do a lot of lawsuits. Everybody that comes from Florida is going to be disadvantaged when they run into a Stanford graduate. And, wow, this game here, a lot at stake. Missouri versus Auburn. A lot at stake. We don't know what may happen in this game. Missouri is favored on the road in the most demon-field possessed football stadium that I've ever seen before. It's even detrimental at times to the home team. Experts think that Missouri is going to pull this thing off. Auburn is unranked, but on Tuesday or Thursday, I said that Auburn was going to pull this off. That Hugh Freeze was going to pull it together. And matter of fact, I didn't look at this. I thought on Tuesday that they would win. But after looking at what happened with that Damari Austin fella, and just seeing what's happening, and here come an old big face, Jackson Arnold, you don't want to be here. You don't want to be here. You got to be here for the team. And Damari Austin was saying, hey man, just let me hang around. I help y'all train. I can be here for the team. And Hugh said he wouldn't talk to the money folks basically, and they said no, he can't be here. You gotta let him go. Then Damari Austin said, "Team? I'm wear myself out for the team? What? What team? You gonna be for a team? No. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna look out for myself, and I'm gonna get mine. The thing is, wear myself out for the thing is with this whole thing, it could have been handled better. And then Hugh does this thing about he reached out to other coaches to help him out. You should have mentors. You want to go higher, you have to talk to people that are higher. If you're on level 1, talk to people on level 3. When you get to level 3, people on level 1, you probably need to talk to no more. Not about business. Talk about bull crap, not business. When you get to level 3, look people on level 7. You're on level 7, level 10. Telling you, it's key to success. But then he comes on TV talking about they don't know what's going. They say you should have won a couple of those. I mean, we could have. You should have put it. Don't win. What are we talking about? Just no confidence. Just slumped over. Just I know you're sick, bro, but come on, man. Do you know what's coming down the road to you? Top defense in the SEC. One of them, I think they are the best still, even though Alabama got through them. I think that team, I think Auburn's team, I think he's lost the team. And this Austin fella wasn't just a player who wasn't being used, running back. First, he was a team captain. And then something that somebody said, I think listening to some of the fellas that I kick it with that are Auburn fans, this man was team captain, voted on by a team. So they all confused, especially if you're a young player, sophomore or junior, and you have some kind of closeness to them or respect for the leaders of the team. You like, what just happened? Then another before I get to the second thing, Deuce Knight comes out, third string quarterback. Everybody been saying, he the future. No, he ain't. No, he's not. And so he put some kind of cryptic message out that made it. It ain't cryptic. You know what it is. It gone. Soon as he get a chance, he gonna be gone. I think there's too much stuff going on, but even more important than that, after listen to Arnold Jackson, I should have called him. Arnold Jackson said, talking about some, you don't wanna be here on the team, you just go lead in. That was their number one blocking back, and I know this for sure. Richard Young is a back I expected to see a lot play at Alabama. Play a lot at Alabama. Saw the pass defense, the pass blocking at FSU. That man has disappeared since the Wisconsin game. Daniel Hill was hurt. He's a bigger back, doesn't have a problem picking up blitzing linebackers and blitzing anybody else's. Richard Young was kind of like lost out there. Still needs to work on it. Kevin Riley gets it. Jam gets it, but he's not playing. When you're trying to pass the football, especially as much as Auburn and Alabama does, you have to have a guy that can pick up the blitz pickups. They saying he the best one they had. I hope maybe they got better running backs than us, but they don't really run the ball a lot. If that dude wants to keep his job, he will run today. But right now, I don't see it. It may not appear to be, but I expect maybe a 15-point victory by Missouri, which is, in Auburn's term, that's a blowout because the defense is just that good. I expect to see a dejected team go out there, fall apart early and often on offense. Defense going to struggle. But I think instead of them collapsing in the fourth quarter, I think they will collapse in the third, and they will lose this game in pathetic fashion. And last but not least, Alabama's going out there. I did review that yesterday. I won't keep you very long. Alabama is favored by, I think, 6 points in that game. I know Aguilar, he throws it around. He's has a pretty good deep ball. His accuracy seems to falter when people get in his face. I think we will stay in his face. We're pretty good at putting pressure on people. Alabama's favorite at 6.5 or 8.5. I think we keep pressure on him. I think we'll stay in his face. I think they'll go quick and fast. We'll go long, slow, and dirty.
What are you talking about?
We'll go long, slow, and dirty, and keep the ball away from them. Play a lot of keep away. Get some long, sustainable drives. Their defense, it's not the defense they had last year. It's definitely not defense they had maybe 2 or 3 years ago. The defense has some big holes when it comes to the secondary. They do blitz very well, or they get to the quarterback very well, but we have a short passing game, and we are willing to run the ball. Or as long as we're willing to run the ball, no matter what, just keep that 3.5 average. We'd love for it to be a lot bigger. And as the line solidifies, I think these runs are getting longer, but 3.5 or above, I think we'll be fine. Enough to cover? No. If I had to bet on this game, I would never put any money on them stinking nasty people from Tennessee and they nasty flea field tick drawing dog. But if that's what you want to do, I think this game 8.5 would probably be. We have turnovers too. We do want to make a statement. This will be we make statements every week. I like how Du Bois said, there's no getting up for this game or that game. It is resetting every week, building the momentum for that week, and keep building the momentum because all these games are huge. So I don't think Alabama covers. I do think we win by maybe close to a touchdown by 7 and just move on to the next game. I think that's what we do. And that's all I got for this fun-filled week. I think week 8 of football games. Thank you for joining me. Like I said, we'll be a more dynamic channel going forward. So I'll see you. I will go live right at kickoff. Right at kickoff, I'll go live. And the next time I see you guys, it will be 7 p.m. for Around the Herd. And that's all I got for now. And you know how we end it. Always remember, roll, tide, roll.